Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. First off, I would like to thank every single one of you, each and every single one of you guys that actually did subscribe. If I check right now, we did in fact hit 500 subscribers. We're at 508 currently. This is all possible thanks to you guys. Thank you. I'm pretty sure I already said this, but thank you guys. Thank you. Just thank you for subscribing, and yeah, we hit 500. Now I do have some good and bad news. First off, start with the good news. We are doing the giveaway, obviously. It's what we promised. We're gonna be doing that in a month, hopefully. We still need time to like collect a whole bunch of doodles. We have to like actually chain for the stuff if you guys want it. But yeah, we're basically gonna chain for all the doodles. I don't know how many doodles each of us are gonna actually be providing, but just know there's gonna be a lot of good stuff in there for you guys. It's probably, shit, I don't even know. It might be up to a full box, but yeah, we're trying to do everything possible to like get a bunch of stuff. Now, unfortunately, although we did hit 500 subscribers, I tried like talking to the moderators, or specifically one moderator, about like getting situated with the content creator stuff. Some bad news about that is currently they aren't actually accepting anyone into the content creator program, even though Fujin got in thanks to like Car's help. I would hope that like a moderator would see this and actually help us with that, but we aren't going to be able to give away the Pride Aqua fees, I don't think, unless something happens where like we actually get accepted into the content creator program. Hopefully they do something about that, because kind of a bummer that we don't actually get to be inside the content creator program just yet. But yeah, I'll show you guys one thing, because I did promise I would give away aqua fees. I'll give away at least this, just because I don't know, it's from Shocks. So if you see me in game, just say, anyway, if you do see me in game, I will give this away to one of you guys. Just say, I don't know, what's it called? Xenoxious and all can. Actually, no. If you see me in game, just say that in chat. And if I do see it, I will give you this aqua fee for free. So I only have one, unfortunately. But if you are the first person to actually join my game and say it, then congrats to you. You get the aqua fee. Sorry that it's not the full 25 or 30. It's just currently all I have, since we aren't actually inside the content creator program yet. I'm saying yet because, don't worry, I'm still going to be making videos. But yeah, that kind of just addresses everything. Thank you all so much for making this all possible. Anyway, let's hop straight into the team building video. Peace. Hey everyone, welcome back to another video where today I'm going to be your guide to how to build a PvP team and what the current meta is. I'm joined by Ace and surprise guest Balling.
What's up?
Alright, so Balling wants to take the initiative and like, I guess, explain to you guys what the current meta is and like what you could do around that meta. Anyway,
So here we go.
Go ahead.
When you're first, do I start now?
Yeah, go ahead.
Alright. When you first start building a team, of course, the first thing that comes to your mind is using the dudes you like the most, which there's nothing wrong with that. When you start going into ranked, you're going to realize how hard it is to really enjoy what you like if you don't have a proper team, proper synergy, and know how to use the doodles that you want to use. Alright, so first, whenever I try building a new team, the first thing I think of is what are the doodles that are most used, aka meta. You know, doodles that are the most right now ranked.
They're good.
Alright, so for example, meta is like the doodles that are mainly used in ranked. The majority high ranking players, low ranking players combined is just the most used doodles, right? And so whenever you make a team, you want to make doodles that can handle what's meta, but also have good synergy with each other.
Yeah.
So to list off a few of these meta doodles, I'm gonna just start listing off name by names. We got like Resurgent Earth. You can see Holler Hair, find another one, Clavier. Doodle is generally good. Have a lot of versatility, variety. Can be slotted on teams easily. Has a nation.
Yep.
And Clang Attain. Now, with all these options and all these things you have to counter, it can feel very overwhelming to make a team yourself. So the first thing you got to think of is what doodle that you're going to focus on. Every team has a center point, the core of the team, where every other member surrounds and supports that one doodle. The team is usually based off of them. So for my example, I'm going to be using a Party Bug A. I'm going to drag here. Now, Party Bug is a very offensive doodle. Has its ability boosts the attack damage of its allies when it's awakened, but its normal trait ability, pre-awakened, allows it to swap and easier on magical attacks. So here's kind of a standard Party Bug set, whereas dual hazards, hazards are like trap and they sound the field. It deals damage to your opponent. They switch in and switch out, and it's stabs. So next, usually when you're running Party Bug A, when you put the doodle that you want to build around, next thing you have to figure out is what kind of team start you're going to be running. Is it going to be hyper offensive, balanced, stall, semi-stall? Just whatever fits the doodle that you're running. Now, since my center point, my epicenter is Party Bug A, I would most likely build either balanced or hyper offensive. Since balance is the easiest playstyle to get into, I'll start with the balance. So first, thinking of what's meta and that beats Party Bug, I can list a few doodles. Let's say Has Nation beats Party Bug because it runs Cursed Cloak, so it can very easily 1v1 it or wave shot its hazards away. Infernius beats Party Bug. Let me find my info real quick. As just a stab fire move can just OHKO it, and you won't get any hazards up. And other things like Clang and Clav can just resist both of its stats. So what you might be thinking is, well, Party Bugs is a Mind Beast type, and its main weaknesses are steel types, as there's no way to hit them. So your next dude would probably be something that hits steel or resist it. And since we're trying to build a balanced team, we probably want something more on the bulky side that can punish steals hard. I know you're looking through your doodles. Like I was saying, you probably want something that resists steel or hits it hard. Just running balance, we're going to look for something more bulky. So we know right now, basically the best doodle in the game is considered Snow Clown A. Now, Snow Clown A is an ice food type, which basically wipes the whole team, and it usually pairs very well with steel types. So since we already know that Snow Clown A and steel types are probably going to be coming in most of the battles that we play, it's probably good to have a bulky or offensive fire type, which can deal with both of them. So for my choice, I'm going to be using Incineroar. Now, Incineroar is a generally bulky fire type, which has a lot of utility boosts and can hit hard. For my set, we're probably going to run Flames of Gehenna. It's a 130 power fire move with the item Yo-Yo. Yo-Yo makes it so that you move slow, but your moves are guaranteed to hit. This can be very useful for duels like Inso who have low accuracy moves. We got Yo-Yo and Party Bug Awaken. There's 2 duels already. Now, as you can see, the team has a very good beast weakness, as it really has no beast resist, even though it has one duel. Both of these duels threaten it, but a fast beast type threaten both of them. There's other holes in this team like water types, ground types, that we have no good resist for. And that also got you thinking, what in the meta hits my team right now that I haven't checked for? Now, most of the time, it's going to be impossible to actually cover every single meta duel. But you want at least a soft check, something that can maybe switch in, something that can threaten them out, so you don't get completely wiped out the floor from them. So right now I'm thinking, what water, what earth, what beast meta duels are good right now and severely punish what I'm using. For example, Clav beats Intel and Party Bug A pretty easily, both of them, as it's immune to fire and then resists Party Bug A stabs and can just rest on both of them. So now we see a big obvious weakness in the team, such as like water types. Even though we've covered our steel weakness, we're still weak to a bunch of other types. So for the next dude I wanted to add, I was considering the Surgeon Earth. Because Insil is generally weak to Earth with strong physical Earth moves, and most Earth types are physical. So that means party, but won't be able to switch in with Spell Shield before it awakens. That leaves our team very vulnerable to strong physical attackers. This is where Lysurgeon Earth comes into time. Well, Lysurgeon starts off as a basic dude, but with the Earth data chip, it can turn ground and be immune to ground. Just find my Earth data chip real quick. There we go. Now for the next 3 doodles, I'm gonna try speed running this a little bit so we can get into the next parts of the video. But since I still have 2 water weaknesses with no resist, I'm definitely gonna need some kind of water resist on the team. And so if you just look through the team, see what we're weak to. We're weak to water. We're weak to light, just things like that. So probably a good defensive grass type would be nice. So since we're trying to run more balance, I'm trying to find a more bulky grass type.
I would
So
suggest
for
hollow hair.
example,
I would suggest hollow hair.
holly hair. I don't say gobblegoo, but holly hair also works here.
I would personally say hollow hair because with its very good ability, it can basically heal instantless that can't really heal if you're using Curse Cloak set, for example, or Party Bug A if you're not using heal.
Alright, sadly right now I don't have my holly on me. I think it's on. I gave it to one of my friends, but for this team, I'm pretty sure my
You do have your hollow hair though.
Where am I blind? My fault. Oh, right here. Sorry. I use my hollow hair. Here's the set I usually run on it. Ignore wild card. That's supposed to be Tone of Cold. But anyway, see, so now we have a good 4-man core. We probably just want the last 2 doodles to be more offensive since we already got hollow hair insult, which makes a good defensive core. Plus with the Surgeon Earth, we probably want a more bulky water resist because even though hollow hair is good, it lacks consistent recovery. That's why we run the Krantz item because hollow hair really has no way to recover except for life sap chip and then barbing and then getting Krantz recovery from that. So for the next dude I wanted to put on the team, most balanced teams like to have something called a pivot. A pivot is a dude like Zapple with hit and run, or even on Biscuits with hit and run. It brings in other doodles easier. Now, most pivots are split up into 2 branches, either fast pivot or slow pivot. Fast pivots are usually more offensive based, while slow pivots are more defensive, slow, and tanky. For example, Snow Roller would be considered a slow pivot with hit and run, foreign substance, or a general tank. While Verna would be considered a fast pivot. So it hits hard and just doesn't have doesn't have good bulk. Now for this team, I'd probably get like a fast pivot actually, because the team lacks speed outside from the Surgeon Earth. That's the next dude we're using is Zapoera. Now Zapoera also works with the rest of the duels. As you know, Zapoera is usually weak to things like Jericera, Gobblegoo, right? So if there's a G on the opposing team, you just hit and run out. Boom, you bring an Inso, you bring a Party Bug. Both of them threaten out Jericera or Gobblegoo, which will give your team something called momentum. Now, momentum is like the pressure you put on somebody else's team. Now, finally, just for the last side, I usually like to have a sweeper as my last side. It's usually called a win condition, which is like the main dude you try to win with at the end of battles. For this, we're just going to use Taxiderms. It's just a generally good doodle. This is the set I usually run with like Jealousy. Jealousy is Victory Dance for Pokemon, but you can't run an item with it. It boosts attack, defense, and speed. And so yeah, here's a team I'd probably run into ranked. It checks a lot of the good threats like Snow Clown A. You'd probably go Holly, or you could threaten it out with a KO with Fiery Bite. Other things like Gobblegoo and Fernius. It's not the best team, but no matter what, just try using doodles that you like. Make sure they're still decent enough into the current meta.
Okay, so this is like a little mock battle just to show you guys what exactly you would do when you face off against the type of team, like whatever Bolly is using. So as we know, Party Bug is probably always or almost always going to be the lead because it's a permanent buff, and even if it ends up dying, it still keeps that worldwide effect or global effect for all the Doodles. So even if it dies, it doesn't really matter. You just want to awaken it as soon as possible so you can start doing extra damage. So it only makes sense that you lead off with Invernius. Now I'm using the Speedy Invernius variant that's also using Enchanted Sapphire, so I'm not scared of like getting outsped or anything by this thing, especially because it's just a weakened party bug. It can't do anything to really hit me. I guess it could Psycho Force, but that's about it. I'm assuming it's probably going to awaken and try and do whatever. As we already know, Bacon Set uses hazards and both stabs, so no flashbang or anything, so that he could like survive and switch out. So I think it's safe to just go for a fireball play. Yeah. Oh. Well, even through Spell Shield, Invernius is so powerful that I can Oko it just because it's super effective, and just because this thing is also Sapphire. It just does a ton of damage. Oop. Yeah. So, he made the obvious switch in going into Inferni or Insolus because I am locked into a fireball. So obviously we have to switch out. Now the best play to go into is probably Klangatang, even though he knows I'm going to switch. He's not going for fireball. He's probably going to end up going for Chaotic Bolt because that hits like everything on my team for neutral. That is a weakness to my team, and so he's using Flame Canna set. He could have Burning Orb too, which also could have been really bad if that did happen. I am not using the optimal set. What am I doing? But yeah, you could basically just go for an Earthquake, but it's kind of an easy read because he obviously is not going to want to stay in on my Klangatang. I could just assume he's going to go for Leishagen Earth. So what we do for that counterplay is going into Voltitude. Actually, I would say, I think Vigi's probably the best play. Oh, well, this also hits for super effective. There's nothing on his team that can really tank a hit from Unguarded Trike, but this thing is definitely not going to one-shot me, so I think the safest play you could probably do is go for a Sharpen, because he's probably going to end up switching out anyway. Alright, so it sets up the berries, so now anything that puts in can heal. This Taxideer is kind of threatening with that Menacing Snarl, but you could probably just one-shot. Actually, I don't even know if this one-shots. It might be able to. You're at +1. It's no, almost. Jealousy. Okay, so he goes for Jealousy. Now, the most important thing is that you have a priority move. You always want a priority move so that you can basically outspeed anything that has speed boost. Now, he could also be using a priority move of his own. So we're just gonna tank it because I know we live a hit anyway. Now we're up +3 in total, -1 from that Menacing Snarl. And now anything on his team really just gets absolutely destroyed by this thing. This is basically setting up for, like, I don't know, an easy victory. This thing is definitely not going to one-shot, or it's not going to outspeed me. It has no good priority moves. Oh! +3. That's interesting. Okay. I for sure thought that was going to kill. I guess that Menacing Snarl really did matter. Anyway, go into... Yeah, we go into Candy Gone, just because it kind of threatens everything on his team. Now, the most obvious play is he's going to hit and run. So we are going to High Gather, because hit and run takes away my, what's it called? I don't even, sugarcoating, because it damages me obviously, and then he goes into Instantless because this thing completely walls my Candy Gone. Unless I was using Chilling Chorus, but I'm not a beta and I don't use Chilling Chorus. I use the proper stab moves and quick thinking. So yeah, he's probably gonna end up doing Flames of Gehenna again. So I think it's safe to say you could go into Infernius, I guess, because I don't think, yeah, no, it's probably not going to. Flames again. And that does so much damage even though it's resisted. Also, I did not know that Flames again can also burn other stuff. So, obvious play, he's going into Hall of Hair. Obviously are going to Fireball. And oh, that is not good. Oh, yeah, that's actually pretty smart. Flames again and Protect. That is not good. So he's gonna stay in. I'm just gonna go into Clang. That's not good. Chaotic Bolt. Yep, we're good. Now from here, honestly, it's kind of iffy. You can either like read him going into Laceogen again, or you could just go for Earthquake. Assuming that he's assuming that I'm going to switch out into something else. So we're just gonna go for Earthquake. Oh, guys, I got the prediction wrong, sorry. So this is Absorber, obviously it's not gonna do anything to me, or I can't do anything to it. Now, that's obvious play. Come on, go into Volta 2. Sharpen is not great for me, but it also can't really hurt me. I mean, boom. Oh, final breath. Oh, okay. Honestly, I didn't even really need this, but you have this now. So what I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna go into this chicken. W play. So he also went into Hall of Hair. He has like basically almost the same exact set as me, but he's not using Scram, so yeah, okay. It would be crazy if he got like a Flames again and O-code me, but thankfully he does not have that. So we're just gonna go for this. Infernius. You could basically just Fireball, because he's obviously gonna be going into Insulith, but it's completely fine. You could threaten it out anyway, and you could probably still do a huge chunk of damage, which is really nice. So now the obvious play is we make it back into where to stand. There we go. Okay, so at this point, you obviously know he's gonna protect. We're gonna go into Clangatang. Okay, rest. Ooh, okay. This is really good for us because now we can just hit it with Earthquake. Wow, you're trying to do me dirty? Wow, okay, yeah. See, I read him like a book. Said it out loud. He thought that I was actually going to click Earthquake. I didn't do that. I clicked Iron Slash and O-code it immediately. So now that just wins us the game because I predicted he would go into Hall of Hair. And that's basically GG's. That's how you can basically predict people. Hopefully you learned something new from that. Let's move it back to whoever wants to talk next.
Just to backtrack a little, before you get into any battle, the first thing you need to do is to know what equipments to use. Now, equipments can come in any shape, form, or size, giving different stat buffs according to what item is wearing. And you usually want to use these equipments to focus on the stats that the Doodle's already good at to make them stronger, hit harder, and hits better. Now, I used on my battle with Sarah, my Zapawera lives in +3 recurring. Now the reason why was also because of my equipment, as some of them help me increase my bulk. For example, Fawn Sprout Tail, it gives +4 to every stat. And Dusty Banana, even though it lowers my HP, the Fawn Sprout Tail's +4 HP and +4 defense kind of reverses that effect, which allowed me to live the recurring from Zappo. From Vigi. Equipments are split into 3 different sections: helmets, amulets, and artifacts. there's a lot of ways to get them. You can get them off of wild Doodle. The easiest way I say for new players will probably just using the buy equipment machines. They just live around the areas.
Also,
right
and
now,
Runic Island also gives like really good equipment too.
And Runic Island, but sometimes the easiest way for new players would probably just be the vending machines. You can buy some with cash. Now, equipments are the only thing you need to prepare for when you're about to get into battle. Another very important part is the item. Doodle does many very items, but usually Doodle's like specific items to them. Like for example, the surgeon usually runs Earth Data, Party Red usually runs Rune. It's like a general idea of what items usually Doodles usually run. And once you can figure out, okay, this Doodle usually runs this, it just helps you be a better PvP in general. Because Taxiderm usually runs Enchanted Ruby. The next time you find a Taxiderm, you can expect it to be Enchanted Ruby. And then you can play around that more easily. So here's just all the items you can use. Some boost your damage of certain moves. Some chip down like Rocky Helmet or Spike Thorns. Some force you to switch out. Now, in conclusion, it's really just what you want to use and what role you want to do to play, and it's the item that you're putting to do to fit that role best. And that's really it.
Alright, this brings us to our last topic, guys. We're going to be talking about movesets and traits. Now, the most important thing in this most important thing in the game is probably moves, just because that's how you deal damage and whatever. That's what makes a Doodle good. I mean, half is good. It also halfly depends on traits, depending on if it gets good traits, bad traits, whatever. Specifically, ones with bad traits would be Glacy Gash. Okay, so a trait that basically just harms the Doodle more than it helps is Enfeeble, which is Glacy Gash's signature trait. This thing just does half the damage when it's below 50 HP. Basically, Archipod or Archops from Pokemon, whatever trait or ability that thing has, this is basically the equivalent. So it's really bad. It harms the Doodle. I mean, it has a really high attack stat to kind of compensate for it, but yeah, this thing isn't that great compared to other Doodles because of its trait. That's why it's held back. Now, Doodles that heavily rely on the trait is probably going to be, I don't know about Remorph. Remorph does really well by itself. Okay, so a Doodle that's heavily carried by its trait is Springling, because this thing has no attack and no magical attack for the most part. What Hidden Strength does is that it doubles its attack stat, so basically it goes from having a 100 attack to a 200 attack, which is really high. That's what makes it really good. Now, Doodles that have like really good moves or have like a combination of both is like Cherry Guard. That's what makes it one of the best sweepers in the game, just because of how powerful Silly is with Harmony and Glow Up. Now, what makes Cherry Guard so good is because of, one, it being a legendary, so it has a really high base stat. I don't know the exact number, but it has like 100 spread across everything for the most part, aside from the attack, I think. This thing has Silly as its trait, which makes all support moves go first. So the only like 2 support moves you really, or 3 I guess, is like Harmony, Glow Up, and Feast. No other support moves are going to be used, at least for an offensive set like this. Now, typically Silly is supposed to be a defensive trait, but we're using it offensively just because Harmony is mainly on the offensive. Usually it goes last or you miss all the time, but what Silly does, it makes it have priority, so you outspeed everything or just go before everything, and then glasses help it have a higher accuracy. I think it's like 78 with glasses. And then Glow Up is basically just set up for whatever the thing is asleep. You can just set up in its face, which is really disrespectful and really overpowered, because they can't even do anything about it. Typically, the only way to counteract this is by letting your thing get put to sleep and switching out to something else that could like kind of handle Cherry Guard. Most of the time it's gonna have like, I don't know, +2 because it glows up straight after harmonizing you. I think the best counter against this would probably be Kill and Tell, because it resists both of its moves, and then it can also just Foreign Substance it, or it can spam Mineral Cannon on it and basically just beat it in a 1v1. Now, there's many other Doodles that have like really good traits. Squonk being one of them. It's basically automatic taunt, and I guess probably Vigilante, because it's a setup sweeper that also sweeps whenever you kill something, so that makes it really powerful. And basically, oh, actually, something else that also should get some attention is probably hazards. Now, the best hazards that are in the entire game is probably Remorph, because whenever you awaken and you use an electric type move, it sets up pylons. And this this thing can learn what's it called? Bee summoning. So you can set up bees and pylons relatively easily. You could slot jolts instead of bees, I guess. And then, yeah, this thing is just like really bulky and can set up hazards with ease. Now, there's also like defensive sets that have like a slow pivot. The best pivot move in the game is Lily Pad Leap, and other pivot moves are Hit and Run, Take Out, and is there any other ones? Oh yes, Cram. Now that's a signature move of Hollow Hair, and Lily Pad Leap is also a signature, so you don't really have to worry about those too much. But yeah, those are like the best moves and traits probably. I mean, there's so many different traits that it's like really hard to show them off in one video, but those are like the main ones. I mean, Refresh 2, very powerful ability. Signature traits. Just kind of like know what Doodle has, what traits, and what type of moves it generally uses, because you're definitely not going to be seeing Milzari with like Water Bolt or anything. You're going to see it with Tsunami or Rust. That's why you don't really want to like not know anything about the Doodle. You want to have some sort of like estimate of what types of moves that it's probably going to use. Now, obviously, there's like weirder sets that use, I don't know, instead of like, I guess, something. Yeah. Yeah. Like, normal sets could use more offensive moves, but this could use more defensive moves, or it could be like a slow, I don't know, bulky Doodle that uses supportive moves, but this specific set would use like, I don't know, Armor Break, like Clevalier, for example, heavily carried by its trait, just because it has unlimited rest and like toughens. But I've seen people use Armor Break. I think Ace was, yeah, one person that used Armor Break Clevalier. Ace, can you tell us how that went? Good. I mean, it's but the most important thing is that people don't expect that. They expect like a tough and rest set with Clampbound, so you can catch people off guard with those types of moves if you want to be like, I want to say weird, but like different. Yeah. That's basically our guide onto like how to build a PvP team. Hopefully it's more updated and better than the last guide that we made, because we actually have a professional this time. I mean, not to say I'm not professional, but Ballwing is way better at team building than me, so huge props to him for actually helping us. He suggested that he would help us with a video. It was very kind of him to do that, and yeah, Yo, what? Nah, if you guys have any questions about the guide or anything else, just comment down below. I'll basically get back to you as quick as possible. And that's basically about it. Peace, guys.